Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. We had a good run, don't say we didn't. I was your first love, and you were my first one. Here's to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here tonight before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than this does. We gave it up, we had its time to say bye, baby, bye. I'll be, you'll be, yeah, we'll be fine. So let's call it a night, and that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here right now before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than this does.
Hello. Hey, hello. It's JulieJo. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am so glad that you're here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Iris is having a moment, so if you hear barking, it's because she's just having a moment, okay? She just needs a little bark here and there to get her through. If you have been following my live issues, I was gonna go live earlier this week, like 2 different times, and I kept changing it because stress. I've also broken out like under my lips here, and then like I have like a cyst breakout on my face over here. I've been so anxious. If you don't know, I'm getting a divorce, so I'm really going through it, but not in like a horrible way, just enough that I needed a few mental health days. Okay, that's all. So I want to thank some people from Facebook, Scentsy group, who helped me get this Scentsy EOM, the CEO live, pretty much, that a lot of people have covered. I want to cover it too, so I'm going to. And first I have to download it. I've just got back to it. Hey, Iris, my love. Come. Ah, you're so good. Thank you. Also, someone just decided right before I went live to pee under my desk. Finn or Iris, I don't know. If I had to place a bet, I would say Iris, because there's a lot of pee. And it's just Finn wouldn't walk this far. But you know what? We all have our moments, right? She's just having a weird night. Nice, sweet girl. She's right here. She's getting pets. JJ looking lovely as ever. That's really sweet. I just talked about my like breakout, like under here. I hope this isn't like something worse than just like a breakout under my lips, like right here on my chin. I don't know, because I use Vaseline and I just hope it's not like contaminated from my finger going in it. Is your mic on? You sound echoey. It is on. Is that better? Testing 1, 2. Oh, how's this? Is this better? Testing 1, 2. Also, thank you, Charlene, for that. I really appreciate when you let me know a little bit. Testing 1, 2. Better? Nah, little woof. Yes. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, my gain. So I've been trying to use my mic for my Xbox Live stuff. But then I finally just gave in and bought headphones or gaming headset. So oh, you like that we're sharing custody? I do get Luna here pretty soon. Well, my birthday's the 24th of this month, so I actually get her from the 20th to the 23rd. I'm with you on the pets doing needs in wrong places. Scooby bin number 2 under my bed. No, not under the bed. Because then you just don't even see it. It just starts to smell, huh? Why is my phone going wild? Do you hear that? What's happening? Sorry, I don't mean to like. Oh, Hannah. Hannah, if you're watching, thank you. I love you a lot. Sorry, let me turn this down. My phone, group messages. So, hello, Marianne. Hello, everybody. Sorry that I haven't been looking. I've just been chatting. I'm eating toasted sourdough with homemade ranch slathered on top, and it's delectable, delicious, and delightful. That sounds really, really good. I am Ella. Hi, Hannah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. So, also, fun fact, I joined a queer volleyball group. It's, you can go pretty much any night of the week, but I'm only available to go certain nights. And one of the nights is like women and non-binary nights. So anyone who's not who doesn't identify as a cis man can go. It's really fun. I'm glowing. It's really nice because I don't feel like I'm glowing, but that's very, very nice. Thank you, Mia. I don't have a sense of smell, so I only notice it because I heard him scratch them around. Ew. It sounds fun. Very fun. I love that. Oh, yeah, it's very fun. So yeah, but tonight we are going to look at a lot of Scentsy stuff. I also spilt my Diet Coke, which was a bummer, but not all of it. So I still have some of it left. It's been a week. It's been a really hard week. That's super cool. Yeah, it's very fun. I am forcing myself to make friends, to get out and like do things, and yeah, you know, just put myself out there. Not the Diet Coke. It's okay. I mean, yeah, it was a bummer. I just spilled a little bit of it. I still have some. So like I said, tonight we're going to look at Scentsy stuff. Hey, odds. And I am about to download the Scentsy CEO stuff. I just got access to it. Someone was kind enough to send it to me. I looked all over, but I guess, do they have like a joined Facebook account? I don't know. That's where it was on. I was looking at their separate ones. So, but I'm trying to download the Facebook video. I have the other one ready, which I think we can go ahead and get started on because it might be kind of a long live, maybe. All right, we'll go ahead and get started on this other live. I found this, or it was sent to me like last week. Like I found this like 7-8 days ago, and I've been meaning to cover it. So it is a video. It is a training that's live on YouTube. Making adult friends is so hard. Yeah, it can be really hard. What's going on with Scentsy? Oh, Rose and Marigold. So I recently did a live about it if you want to go and like really know in depth what's going on. But ultimately, Scentsy is struggling, like all MLMs are, and they're changing their comp plan and really just screwing over their people, screwing over their reps. And so a lot of people are very upset about it. Husband of the Scentsy owner couple makes me rage. I can't stand him. Really? Melissa? I feel like you and I rage at similar things, so it's very possible I probably won't like him no matter what, but who wanna bet Scentsy is the next to go omni-channel? I love when they use those words. I'm joining a book club at the local indie bookstore in an attempt to make friends. That's a really great way to do it. I looked. That's the first thing I looked at. But I work I work nights and I work a split shift. So one week, my weeks start on Thursday and I work a week and then I'm off a week. So it was literally every Thursday night it was like every other Thursday night, and it was the nights that I go into work. So all right, so let's go and get started. And while this is starting up, I am going to go ahead and download that Facebook video so we can watch it later. So this is the training of a YouTube video from a top leader. There are a lot of people on here that are not top leaders that we're not paying attention to. They're just going to be on there because it's a Zoom. So don't pay attention to them. But I just, this is how it is. Here we go.
So much for tuning into the Together We Scent family of teams and Flash family of teams. And all of our amazing adoptees. Adoptees, is that right? Adoptees? Is it? Well, yeah, because I guess we'd be the adopters. So all of you, welcome. This call is open to anyone that wants to spend Tuesday evenings with us. I don't think it's evening, though, in Australia for Jocelyn. It looks like it's sunny and maybe lunchtime. But we are really happy that you're here. Thank you. Let me hold on just a second. We've got a couple of people in the waiting room, and I forgot to co-host. So one moment. Okay. All right. There's co-hosting, and people are still coming in. Look at us. Look at us with the lots of people on Zoom tonight. That makes me feel so good.
Does it? Do you know why they're all on Zoom tonight? Because this was right after all the bullshit was announced. So they're all like, what's happening? I don't blame them. They're like, so excited. I'm like, no, I wouldn't be excited if I were you. They're pissed, as they should be.
All right, so let's just start this out. First, tonight, the only announcement since we talked last Tuesday is the additional Valentine collection that launched, or that was added, and so that came out yesterday. Everything else you've probably seen from the news tab or heard. If you earned Cheers to 20 years, either the 9 months or the 12 months, that official list is on the workstation. So if you'd like to see your name in lights, the official listing is on your news tab. Another announcement that was made, or article that was posted, was any world tour with walk-ins, any world tour that is not sold out does have walk-in availability. And so that information, if that pertains to you, is on the news tab.
Really,
so if
Wendy?
you are in a
Wendy says interesting because Melissa isn't normally like this on her Zooms. A little bit, she's a little bit somber normally, and so I guess she's trying to be a little more like energetic on here. I'm not sure.
Walk-in situation, check your location, see if it's sold out, and if it isn't, then you have walk-in availability. Okay. Now, before we start tonight's call, I want to call on Rachel Pouget to share with us the experience that she had yesterday. I think it was yesterday, Rach, yesterday or Sunday. I want her to share an experience with all of you and her excitement. So, Rach.
Hey.
Hi. Can I spotlight you? Yes.
Oh,
I'm going
Lord.
to.
Okay, go ahead.
Doing it.
Oh, this is scary.
No,
oh
you're
my
so-
God, that got real
Stop it.
big real quick. Okay.
You're so cute. You look adorable. Okay, go.
So yesterday, yeah, it was yesterday. So I had kind of talked to Melissa. I during the month of December, was very just in tune with other things going on. I was very out of the Scentsy world. I would keep in contact. I'd see what was going on, but it was not my best month business wise. And I kind of already knew that going into January, I wanted to change it and get back to where I typically am. But I was like really having a hard time like throwing myself back into it because I would always find other things to occupy my time. So when I talked to Melissa recently, I told her on the phone, I was like, I'm getting back into it. I have all a list of things I want to do. I keep putting it off. I got to make the time. So one of the things I like to utilize is Project Broadcast. it just really works with my customers. They like it. It's quick. But I've been realizing, since I haven't really been working my business in the past like month, I'm paying for messages that I'm not sending. I'm just wasting my money. So I decided yesterday that yesterday was going to be the day. I was going to change it. I was going to spend the time on project broadcasts. I was downstairs, just like doing stuff with my guys. And I was like, I'm going to send out uh, a message to my people who I know love fragrance flowers, right? We have the Valentine today. We have the banana nut bread. So I was like, I'm just going to shoot a message to them on project broadcast. I like kind of fancied it up.
Why aren't they talking about it from so this is my issue. Also, this is really boring. But this is my issue is there is so much going on. People have so many questions and they're just skipping over it from the beginning. Like in this YouTube, they talk about how they're going to talk about the changes, but like, why are we starting off this way? Have you tried the orange cream diet Coke yet? No. Interesting. Isn't there a compensation plan changing? Yes, Karina, there is. Absolutely. And it's pretty much just makes it harder for them to make money, which is wild. No one in this call seems excited. Yeah, no, they're not. And I wouldn't be for them either. They look super happy. No, she's normally more excited and loud. She's definitely not doing good here. No, yeah, she's probably, my guess is if I were her, I would feel very stressed and anxious about what's going on because the changes that the CEO made are going to screw everyone over. Hey, oh, it's Melissa Gratz. I know her. Really? Yeah, I heard she's a top leader or up there. Did they turn the Zoom comments off? Like no one can even talk about their concerns? I have no idea. Yeah, their PV is going from 200 to 250. Can't remember. Yeah. 200 to 250. So they have to do 50 more this is a lot of things have gone up. Like a few things have gone up to where you have to put in, like you either have to pay more, you have to get more purchases to like qualify and to keep rank and all of that. They really did screw them over.
Hey, VIP fragrance flower people, blah, blah, blah. Within 30 minutes, I did $129 in PRV off of Valentine's Day fragrance flowers. And they haven't heard from me in over a month, just from reaching out to them, letting them know, hey, I know you love flowers. Hey, I wanted to share this with you. You're part of my like flower VIP. I literally had 2 or 3 of them respond within a couple minutes saying, oh my God, thank you for thinking of me. Or like, it means so much. So I did that. Right before that, though, what I was kind of laughing at, I did an event back in 2023, you guys, September of 2023. I met a lady who recently lost her Scentsy consultant because she loves Scentsy, and her favorite bar of all time was Thunderstorm. I, at the time, was able to get her some through like the ISO post of getting her Thunderstorm wax. I got her like 7 or 8 bars.
Okay,
she's like,
I think I'm gonna skip this and go to like other parts of it. Okay, all right. I don't like really care about this whole thing. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Maximize your time is to do some follow-up.
Okay, here we go.
Rach, thank you so much.
Here we go.
I appreciate you. I'm removing the spotlight of myself too because I like to look at your guys' faces. This right here and what Rachel just said is testament to when you only have a small amount of time to work your business in a given day, your best opportunity to maximize your time is to do some follow-up, is to reach out to customers. If you only have a certain amount of time, your best return on your time investment is reaching out to people. And here's a couple of things I want to point out. Okay, first, this was a really big deal for Rachel to share. So I want to give her kudos, huge kudos. You allow me to put you on the spot and push you quite often. And I appreciate you, but I also value that you trust me so much. So thank you. Second is I wanted that conversation to be shared because I wanted you to see the personal connection and relationship building that was going on in that conversation. That is all the difference. That is all the difference.
Melissa,
She did not end it with, I just got the notification that came.
Melissa, get to it. You know why all these people are on? You remember when you were surprised about all these people getting on? You're like, oh my gosh, there's so many people on. You know what? Get to it. Let's talk.
Through. Thanks for your order.
Oh yeah.
It continued to where now it was, she was building rapport. They were giggling with each other over Thunderstorm and her being a savior and her crushing the assignment, to message me on the last day of the month to get my Scentsy club set up.
All right.
I just went on Canva and
Okay.
and then for Valentine's Day,
Rachel.
before. So
put in the chat, how many of you watched Dan?
Okay,
just
here we
not
go.
looking at this like.
Here we go.
Put in the chat. How?
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Y'all ready? Okay, yeah. Don't forget to like the stream, by the way. Thank y'all for reminding me to say that.
How many of you, and let's do this, drop it in the chat.
We did. We watched
How
it.
many of you watched Dan Orchard's Zoom?
How many of you were there? How many of you watched the Zoom with me on live? Or a Zoom from anyone else too?
Explaining the changes. Don't be shy. You can raise your hand. You can drop it in the chat. It was emailed to everyone, to all consultants. It is posted. Well, I shared it on the Together We Scent page today with the link. I'm really trying to push
Lots of it.
everybody watching it to understand the changes, understand, or to understand the reasoning behind the changes. If you saw his slideshow, and for any of you that haven't seen it, let me recap very, very quickly and say, Angie Vance, that scares me. She hasn't watched it.
Together We Scent? Is that a saying they have, Courtney? Together We Scent? Lord. Together We Scent? I'm sorry. That is just... No.
But she has read enough of other people's posts to get the changes. I just hope they're the good posts. I hope they're the positive ones. But basically, we went from...
It almost sounds like Together Consent. I don't know why I thought consent. Polychrome said Together We Scent is their team. Oh, no. Oh, I don't like it. But you know what? I don't have to like it. Who cares? It's subjective. But still, I just don't. T. Flynn, risk I'm going to fall asleep because it's 1 a.m. here, but wanted to send y'all some love. Also, I feel like y'all on difficulty finding friends in real life. Just joined a footy team myself. Oh, T. Flynn. Well, please get some rest. You can always watch the replay. And I appreciate you sharing that.
Very quickly, we went from consultants bringing in about, on average, 12 new customers a year to Scentsy. And very quickly, we have slid to where consultants are bringing in, on average, of 4 new consultants per year to Scentsy. And that slide, now, to many of us, 12 sounds low. And if you are newer to Scentsy, then your customers may all be new. And so 12 may sound like, well, my gosh, I've brought in 20 to 30 new customers. And for somebody like me, I really have to dig in and think about how many are new customers versus how many orders I get that are reorders from my current customer base of 17 years. So new customer is legitimately a person who has never, their name does not show up anywhere else on the Scentsy system, in the Scentsy databases, not by another consultant, not by they bought 10 years ago, but this is strictly brand new to Scentsy. Their information doesn't show up anywhere.
Melissa, wrap it up. Taylor, wrap it up, girl. Wrap it up. I'm about to skip forward a little bit because I'm not here to play today. We got a whole nother long video to watch. Okay, I'm not here to play.
Well, here's the thing. It's sometimes that data leaves a gap or an opening, because there's a lot of times where a customer that's brand new will come to me and she'll end up buying something that I have on hand, and I don't turn around and reorder it and put her information in the system.
Okay, then what's the data for that? Data's data. listen, I know that there are like outliers and whatnot, but I'm sure that that is a lot less than people purchasing it online through you. All right.
As a new customer. Now, I've gotten much better about doing that, and in fact, almost 100% at doing that since Scentsy said to us,
Hijab cheese. I was just watching French Fry Girl. Are you on her stuff a lot? Because I feel like she says hijab cheese a lot.
in the fall, that we need to be better with tracking our customers, keeping track of our customers' information, and loading it into the workstation so that Scentsy is using proper statistics. Okay, this is all boring, right?
No, it's not. If you would just get to the point. Also, well, yeah, I guess this is kind of boring, but not the stuff we want to get to. Also, oh, I was gonna say something. Yeah, she's talking about like outlier stuff. Like if someone purchased like a little scent packet for, I don't know what the fuck it's called, melts. I don't know. I don't care. If someone purchased one of those from her in person, I'm like, that probably doesn't happen that often. Like it probably doesn't happen often enough to really make an impact. Okay, hijab cheese, I thought so.
I just wanted to make sure that you have seen Dan's Zoom because of the slideshow, and it explains why the changes are coming. Now, the part of the slideshow I want to call your attention to is we will be focusing this year, 2025, on 4 areas, and you are going to hear them over and over and over, especially because leaders like us and leaders in the field across Scentsy are going to be echoing these 4 things all year long. We need to focus on, and gosh, we've been talking about this since the fall, but we're going to really drive it home. New customer acquisition is number 1. Customer engagement, new consultant acquisition,
Jessica.
and consultant engagement. I always think I mess it up. New customer, and then new customer acquisition, customer engagement, new consultant acquisition,
All right.
consultant engagement.
Okay.
So what we're going to do moving forward, before I get into a couple meat and potatoes things, what we're going to do moving forward is on these calls, and this will begin in the first week of February. The first week of the call will have something to do with new customer acquisition. The second week of the call will be something talking about that falls under the umbrella of customer engagement. So whether that is talking about VIP pages or engagement posts.
Dan Gould said, except it wasn't engagement, it was retention. That's a different thing. Absolutely. Yep. What's the point she's trying to get? I don't know.
Or follow up, or anything that could fall under the umbrella of engaging our customers, that will fall in week 2. Week 3 will be about new consultant acquisition. So those will be,
Girl, I don't care.
Yeah, I know who gets on these calls every single week. I know.
Drama.
So 4th week of the call will be consultant engagement. And the 4th week of the call will be, now don't just show up to the 4th week, you guys. Seriously, I see your faces and I know who gets on these calls. FYI, I know who gets on these calls every single week. I know.
Did y'all see me word for word that? I know who gets on these calls every week. I know. All top leaders love to threaten. They love to threaten like that. They're like, I see you.
So I'm just letting you know. Vanessa Weiss, I'm looking at you because I love that you're on tonight. No, I wasn't calling you out. I'm just happy to see you. But the 4th week is about consultant engagement, all consultant engagement. How do I work to engage you? And how do you work to engage your team? And how do you show up for the rest of the community? The engagement part is so important. And I always believe that we should have fun while we're engaging. And so we'll be doing a lot of the mobile phone trivia nights and things like that. That would fall under that umbrella, which I love that it's the last week of the month because we can celebrate your efforts from the month. We also will be leading into end of month live. And, I'm going to challenge and encourage you to try and get your downline to start attending these Zooms if they're able. And if you can't get them to on any other night, at least try to bring them along in that 4th week so that they can see that we don't just talk. I don't just sound like Charlie Brown's teacher or mom. I don't think I do, on Tuesday nights,
You are right now.
that we do fun stuff here too, and we enjoy being with each other.
All
And
right.
I like to think that, because otherwise you wouldn't get on the call.
So I wanted to say this a little bit ago, but it didn't kind of fit in, but now it does. Those that show up grow up. And when you are consistent to our team and the team calls, your business changes. And
Did y'all just cringe? I should let her cook, but did you just cringe? I cringed. Oh, physically, like.
I'm testament to that. And I just kind of wanted to say that I have committed to myself, to Together We Scent, to my team, to Melissa, and I have hardly missed any Tuesday night Zooms because I know it's so important to my business and to our community. And so it is huge, 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 huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Huge.
Because here's the thing. When Jackie says you have to show up to grow up or show up to go up,
Or show up to throw up.
that going
Kidding. I just kid. I kid. Kind of.
up can mean one order. Going up can mean one sale. Going up can mean the confidence now after hearing Rachel to reach out to customers about Bring Back My Bar. The go up doesn't just mean,
Huge.
oh, I show up and I go to director. No, there's steps that happen before that. But what it does do is it continues your momentum of showing up for yourself and your business and your customers.
Jackie, hi.
That's what it does. Because you know the analogy. I won't bore you with the analogy, but you know anything in life, when you stop showing up to it, it is harder to get back to it. And so the Tuesday night call, one of its purposes is to hold you accountable to at least thinking about your business once a week.
I mean, but like, we're adults. Like, I get it. Accountability is great and all, but why would you want to stay doing something that's not paying you like it should? Like, why are you wanting to stay and put in this effort into watching this and being present when you're not getting paid, even though you're working? Couldn't be me. I mean, it was one time, several years ago, but it couldn't be me anymore.
At minimum, I hope you think about it more than that. Patty, one thing.
And the rock.
When you just said that it's easier to keep it going than to stop, that analogy by Orwell always comes into my brain about the merry-go-round.
Merry-go-round.
When you're at the park and you were a little kid and you got on that merry-go-round and you had to run and run and run and run and run, and then it got going fast enough where you could jump on and you would just ride it, whee! And then if you didn't put your foot down to keep it going, it would stop, and then you'd have to get off and run and run and run and run, or it would have been easier just to put your foot down every once in a while and push. So keep the merry-go-round going. Don't stop. You can take you can enjoy the ride for a little while, but you can't stop. So
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to keep going again.
Yeah. So I want to make sure, thanks, Patty. I want to make sure, and this is coming from all of your leaders, we want to make sure, and then we can move on from this. After seeing Dan's Zoom, after digesting the changes, is there anything that remains unclear? Is there anything that you need or want further explained? Is there anything that caused you to have any question? Because one of the things that we leaders are diving into and
Natasha saying,
learning about,
get to it.
and really taking to heart is how important transparency and listening is, especially with regards to our team.
You know what blows my mind? These adult women are telling other adult women things that you would normally tell like a fifth grader. You know what I mean? Like, transparency is so important. I'm like, yeah, we fucking know that, and we want the transparent. That's why we're here. Like, they talk down to these people, like they are. A lot of them look older than you. Okay, Melissa. So just don't talk to me like you're trying to soothe me. That is so annoying.
Team members, our downline, our friends, our peers, our community. It's very important that we have transparency and that we are good
Yes,
at
ma'am.
listening. And so I wanted to make sure if anybody, I wanted to give you the opportunity. And if you're not comfortable talking, you can drop it in the chat. Anna, watch the chat for if anything comes through.
All right.
If there's anything that we can clear up for you on anything that's gone on in the past 2 weeks.
Please don't be shy. Please just
Mhm.
let's talk about it.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, Jocelyn, please.
I'm a bit like Dan, and probably I think Patty's a bit like this, numbers. And so when I was watching Dan's live, explaining the changes, and he was saying about the amount of active consultants, and if you looked at the numbers, there's about 26,000 active consultants. So if you times that by 12 customers per year that they were bringing in 2018, and I wasn't around then, was 312,000 customers a year. So if you take that down to 4, that's 104,000 customers a year that we're bringing in. So the company, to maintain its sustainability, has to change. And
Okay, but how many of them purchase more than once, and how many of them stay? I have a feeling it's probably not very many. So if people are leaving because they're not making money, not getting paid, whatever, then why would you make it harder for them to do that? Why would you make it harder for them to get paid? Because it's not about them being successful. Nobody gives up about them being successful. Scentsy only cares about Scentsy. You are not Scentsy. Not one person on here Scentsy cares about. Not a single one. Scentsy only cares about Scentsy. And I get it. It's business. It's blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then why did Scentsy, who apparently cares about you, decide to shit all over you and say, you got to work harder, you got to do better? Well, how about Scentsy works harder and does better? How about Scentsy makes it better and easier for people? Could you imagine that if it was easier, like, for you to make money, if you were making money because Scentsy made it more accessible and their comp plan better for you to make money, that more people would stay? But no, they didn't. Instead, they said, we're going to make it harder for you, and we're also going to shit on you for not doing well enough. I don't understand. If you're watching this and you are still in Scentsy, what I want you to know is they don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They only care about themselves. If they cared about you, they would not have made it harder for you to make money. They would have made it easier for you to make money. And wouldn't you know it, maybe making it easier for you to make money would make you stay and more people stay? The brainwashing? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're making you think it's your fault that the company's, it's not your fault. Scentsy has a scarf as a scarf. The video with the bald guy and the wife with the minion glasses was so cringe and desperate. Well, Monica, that's up next. If like I'm zooming through this because I'm gonna watch that. I haven't watched it. I've saved that so I can watch it with y'all.
like we've been saying on Team Wonderbar, the negativity that's out there, then they just need to move on, find something else.
Negativity.
If they can't.
Why does being realistic equate being negative? It's not my fault that the reality of the situation seems negative to you. Why is the truth negative? Tell me, Jocelyn, why is the truth a negative thing to you? That's not my problem that the truth is negative. Maybe talk to Scentsy. It frustrates me when these women and people, humans, come on here and they're like, don't be negative. I'm like, oh, so me telling the truth and asking questions is being negative. So are you telling me to not be honest? Are you telling me to not share what's going on and the truth behind it? And like, I'm just putting out there what's been given to me by the company. And if it's negative to you, then okay. But that's not my problem. Wendy said of the 89,000-ish active consultants, only 20,000-ish are even listed on the website search. The remainder does not even show up for random sales. Shit on the bottom and they just can't see it. Absolutely, Wendy. Absolutely. That's actually really wild. That's actually really wild that only 20K show up on the website search. The two of them looked like they got squeezed into the phantom zone. What does that even mean? Sorry, I'm late. What are they up to now? Oh, Kesrin. Oh my goodness. A lot, pal. A lot.
Keep going. It's about what everyone's saying. It's about that growth and about pushing yourself. And it's about, well, Tupperware here in Australia has just closed down. So like stopped. We've had a few years ago, I was Mary Kay and it just stopped, like bang, it stopped. So Scentsy have taken the proactive approach to actually make sure that it's a sustainable company for now and into the future. And I think all those negative people just can't see that. They're just too self-absorbed to actually take that proactive approach. And so
too self-absorbed to take the proactive approach. Good God. Because you're worried about how much harder it just got for you to make money, you're self-absorbed. Because you have questions and you're frustrated, you're self-absorbed. That is actually wild for her to say. Get it together, Jocelyn.
Like the numbers really surprised me. And so it just made it so easy to see why the changes have been made. When you look at that, like 104,000 customers a year down, like in five or 6 years, down from 312,000 a year. That is a huge amount of sales that have dropped.
Why is Jocelyn still talking? She seems a bit self-absorbed to me. I'm just giving her shit. But yeah, for real, Jocelyn, can we move on?
So I think the changes are wonderful. And it's just about being proactive and getting yourself out there, which I need to do myself. So.
Jocelyn, thank you so much for sharing.
What Melissa really means is, Jocelyn, thank you for being the ass so that I don't have to. Thank you for being someone who makes people feel shame so that I don't have to. Thank you for calling people out so that hopefully like they feel like it's their fault and not looking at the company so that I don't have to. Melissa, I thought you were the leader. Isn't that your job?
I think I'll speak for all of the Americans on the call. We could listen to you read us a telephone book because we love your accent so much. And that's so typical of Americans to comment on how beautiful your accent is, right? But thank you. I appreciate that. And Anna is also our resident numbers guru. And so as soon as you started throwing out numbers, she perked up a little bit because that she gets excited about numbers. So thank you. Okay, what's coming in the chat? Because I think I saw.
Yeah. So you did have one from Dawn. So for anybody who's watching this back, I know you can't see the chat. So Dawn was asking, I'm having some issues with a few teamies and the 5% pay drop, if not reaching the 250 PRV, because that's the new requirement for active 250 PRV rather than the 200 that we're doing now. If you don't reach the 250 to be active and you are a certified consultant, you'll still receive 20% commission on those months that you don't reach active status 250 PRV. So that's what the context is there. And so my question was really just if they had already watched the recording that Dan had done the other day, and they have. And so a lot of that stuff is cleared up a lot with Dan's with Dan's presentation of.
Okay, but Dan's presentation was pretty much just like, y'all need to do better. Y'all got to do better. That's ultimately what he said. Why do they call everything a guru? Like, come on, right? Julie McDogs, I meant to read your message earlier, but I forgot. Oh, about the person that you commented on, they blocked and deleted you. Sorry, that sucks. And you know what, though? I think in that moment, that person is having a freak out moment. For me, like when someone would comment like, hey, you should not be doing this. This is not a good thing to do. I don't want to be a part of anything like this, I would have this cognitive dissonance episode to the extreme and just block and delete. And I would freak out for a second, be like, no, 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 push it away. So just for the record, like commenting, you know, like, hey, I heard about what's going on. Like, I hope you're able to get out, blah, blah, blah. That's not a bad thing and you didn't do anything wrong. Not that you probably thought you did, but still, like, you didn't. And my guess, they probably had a little episode like I would. William, hi. Scentsy corporate trying to save itself by changing comp plan and throwing distributors on the bus. That is all there is to it. Absolutely. 100%. No doubt. No doubt. In 2008, the law firm I worked at did temp pay cuts because of the recession. The largest pay cuts were from the highest earners, and everyone making under 40K was exempt. That's probably the better way to do it because, I mean, duh. Like, if they're already making so little, why would you cut it even more and leave the people making more make more? Anyway, Bogans are low socioeconomic or something. Basically low end of society. Interesting. I never knew that. Good night, Sam. Like the stream, it tastes like maple Oreos. Oh, I haven't had those. Hi, Julie.
Of the rationale behind all
Weird
of
seeing my
these
name.
decisions. So
Can I say something?
yeah,
Okay, that it doesn't qualify for me. I'm above that. So I guess I'm just trying to speak for them a little bit. And I have not read the contract thoroughly, so I don't clearly know what it states like you guys do. But they're throwing at me that it says that there was a lifetime promise of at certified we get 25%, and that they're taking that away from them, and that's why they want to quit. That's what I don't know how to go and stand up for us as a company. I don't know what to say.
That's totally fair. Anybody know anything about that? I don't know shit about that. I'm sure someone knows something about that. Oh, she is a fighter. She's like, I don't know. There was a lifetime promise and now they took that away. What do I say? Well, you say, huh? Fucking sucks. Sorry.
So here's the thing, since he did always promote that as you earn 25% for a lifetime. There's also something in the contract that says that the independent consultant agreement can change at any time.
Right. But y'all don't say that shit until it happens and then it works for you. You're like, nope. You're like, nope. It is a lifetime thing. You will get paid 25% for the rest of your life that you do Scentsy. And you're not going to say, but there is a part of it that, you know, if this can change at any time. You don't say that, Melissa, until this moment where you're like, oh, it works for me now. But there's a part in it where it says it can change at any time. Ooh, you're making me mad. But then contract says they can change the terms at any time. Yeah. That is shady as fuck. Yes, it is. Welcome to Scentsy. Please sign here to give us your soul. Lifetime promise applies insofar as it doesn't affect the company as an ongoing concern. Right. So it's like this toss-up. It's like Melissa probably promoted. It's a lifetime promise, 25% commission for life. And now that it's changed, she's like, well, there is a part in there that says it can change. So, like, I get it. You should know that as a Scentsy consultant, but they don't promote it that way. And they also say things like, it's pretty much like, go in without knowing what's going on and just give it your all and earn as you learn. There we go. Earn as you learn. Earn as you learn. You don't have to know anything. I will guide you. I will help you. It's very much rely on the leaders to train you and help you, but they're not going to tell you those things. Can you spell integrity? Not. I smell an FTC lawsuit for false advertising of lifetime. That's actually a really good point. When a company says lifetime anything, press X to doubt. Leaders, right? Leaders in quotations. That's a good point. It says something about a 60-day thing, and that's why they pushed it to April 1st. Which wax melt smells like bait and switch? That's really funny.
And this change, Dawn, for the sake of the team members that are concerned about it and asking you.
Also, sorry to pause so quickly again, but I know some of you are watching this because it was posted in the Scentsy group, and some of you are still in Scentsy. I want you to know that they lied to you. They lied to you by saying it was lifetime. Should you have read the policy and procedures? Yeah, you should have. Absolutely, you should have, and you would know this. But you didn't, and that's something that we learned and we move on with. What you need to know is they did lie to you, though, saying lifetime. That's a lie. They lied to you. They deceived you. So if they're willing to deceive you on that, what else are they willing to deceive you on? Come on now. I want you to think about this. And I want you to know, though, that this isn't just limited to Scentsy. All MLMs do this. All MLMs do this. This is a multi-level marketing thing. Deceiving the distributor is part of MLM.
The change is necessary for the future health of Scentsy.
Oh, and I
And-
understand. Yeah.
And no, I know you. I know you.
She's coming from a place of contractual obligations, right? And so I just want to let you know that as far as the Scentsy independent consultant contract, Section 4 outlines as changes to the agreement. Scentsy at its sole and absolute discretion reserves the right to update or amend any portion of the agreement. You will be notified of such changes 60 days in advance through your consultant workstation. It's your responsibility to stay informed of the latest terms of the agreement by electronically accepting this agreement or continuing your.
So then why the hell are you saying lifetime? You can't say lifetime if you have the option to change it. Also, Liz said ignorance on fire in a wax melt. Your Scentsy, please know we are mad for you and angry at how you are being treated. Yes, absolutely. I think what Scentsy's doing is bullshit. But I also think that all MLMs are starting to do this.
Your participation as an independent Scentsy consultant by accepting any bonus or commission you accept and agree to any changes that are made now or in the future. That's part of the agreement that they agree
Hannah said we love a good poop hole loophole.
to.
And I had a feeling that was in there somewhere, but I have not had a chance to search for that. So thank you so much.
You're
Yep.
welcome. Give me all
And-
the analytical stuff, right?
You'd be surprised what else is in there too. Take a little read, y'all.
In addition to that, and I think Patty's touching on this, they are adhering to the 60 days. That has come up in question too, because
So they originally weren't going to adhere to the 60 days is what I heard, but it was in their policy and procedures and it was pointed out to them. So now they had to push it back to April 1st, which Sarah, I think you had mentioned earlier. So they were originally not going to adhere to what their policy and procedures said about this implementation of like from 200 to 250 and all that, and 25% to 20%. But then they ended up having to do that legally because it was in their policy and procedures.
in the consultant agreement, it
Rachel said, if you're in Scentsy, we truly are on your side and hope you get out. Oh, amen. If you're in Scentsy and you're watching this, I'm really glad that you're here.
does say that you'll be notified 60 days in advance. That 60 days does remain because the change goes into effect March 1st. However, commission for March does not run until April. So we are actually further out from the 60 days because that was one of the things people are saying, well, there's not enough days in between the time you announce to March 1st. And they're saying the change goes into effect March 1st. However, commissions will not even run until April 10th. And
Yeah,
so-
they threw that at me too. And I was like, no, I got that one covered.
yeah. Yeah.
Then I couldn't find the other one. And I just read where someone else has worked for other companies that's had this. I worked for Jamberry when they went bankrupt, and they didn't do anything like this to cover their butt.
Wendy said, they own your social media if Scentsy is on it. Anyone in the database is their property, not for use at all, even if it's friends and family. So if you have Scentsy on your social media, it's not your social media anymore. That's also what Monate does too, by the way.
And they just let it go. And so I told Andrea, I said, I'm glad that Dan did do those statistics, because if it weren't for those statistics that he showed us, I don't think we just right here alone probably wouldn't understand, because you have to see the facts.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Yeah, you bet, Dawn, always. always.
mean, and at the end of the day, if we're encouraging people to sell an extra 50 PRV, this is US dollars, of course, but they're going to receive $62.50 in commission rather than the 25 or the $50 that they would have received on the original active plan. So at active as a certified consultant, they're going to get $50 on $200 in 200 PRV in sales. Where now, if you're being encouraged to sell 250, you're going to be making an extra $12.50 a month, and year over year, you're looking at, you know, an extra $150 over the term of a year if you're just active every month. So that's actually really cool. It's good.
But it's not cool, Anna, because the truth is, it's already hard enough to probably hit that 200. And so they're just making it more difficult for people to make more money. Very simply put, that's the truth. They're also wanting you to buy more product and put in more effort on your part to spend more money on Scentsy. Here's why. The consultants of any multi-level marketing company are their biggest customer. The consultants, the distributors, whatever you want to call them, of the multi-level marketing company are the MLM's biggest customer. I have people ask me all the time, why do companies go MLM? Like, why do they do multi-level marketing? Why do they, do that kind of business structure? Because they have surefire customers in their consultants. That's why. Because their consultants are the ones buying product every month. Their consultants are the ones showing off the product. Their consultants are their biggest customers, no doubt.
I actually took it to like a lesser amount, like when in 2017 when it went up, because I joined in 2015, when it went up from 150 to 200, it had to be every 4 months you had to have that order, the 200 in. So everybody was like, so here we have 200 to 250, but it's once a year. And I'm like, oh my God, it's 50p, it's 50 for the whole year. Like, sell something at Christmas, man. Like, it's just, I'm like, are you actually grasping that even if you're not doing it every single month and you're that one time a year person, it's once a year, not once every 4 months.
And I love that comes from two different perspectives, right? That's a perspective of somebody who's like, man, at 250 once a year is going to be hard. Those are for those people who are really only getting active a couple of times a year. And I'm coming from a place of, if you're trying to be active every month, look at how much more money you will make in the long term. So I think that those are both really important places to have.
Why are they talking? They're talking to the people like they're dumb. It's like, well, you can make more money. No shit, Sherlock, I can make more money. It's the fact that I have to now try and push to make more. It's the fact that I have to put in even more effort. It's the fact that I have to purchase more. No duh. Why am I going from making 20% commission to 25% commission to 20% commission, and then also having to raise it from 200 to 250 PRV or whatever they call it? They're screwed all around. Overall, you're going to make less money. Overall, you're going to make less money. They're treating these people like they're dumb. Like they don't have thoughts of their own. If you are feeling upset about this, you're valid. Why? Because it's really shitty. Just straight up. Doesn't matter who you are. It's shitty no matter what.
Have a good perspective of and how to seek understanding of what other people's concerns are.
Yeah. Rachel, you have your hand up.
So, and this doesn't have to do with consultant and PRV. I'm going off on it. So pricing wise, starting March 1st, to my understanding, like buy 5, get 1 free. If you go on the workstation, it's kind of like a perk for the customer to come to you. And if you can do buy 5, get 1 free in the workstation. But say Melissa goes on my website because she's part of a party that I'm doing, and she goes on my website and she buys 6 bars of wax, she's not going to get the buy 5, get 1 free. Instead, she's going to pay $6 each, but then get 10% off. Is that what I'm understanding, or am I off on
Right.
that?
So she's
Yep.
missing $3, right? So I mean $3.60 or whatever it is. So if the $3 is that big of a difference to somebody that they really like are upset over the buy 5, get 1 free, realistically, we're talking about a $3 saving. So,
but Anna, you just said earlier, well, you're going to make another $12 and something cents a month. And when you add it up over the several months, you're going to make like $150. But now that it's not part of your narrative that fits and that makes you look better. You're like, well, if you're just worried about $3 for a purchase, well, what if they have 50 people purchase it? That's a pretty significant amount of money that they're losing out on. I don't know what you want me to say. Actually, they have more valid feelings about being upset about that $3 than you have about being excited about the $12 extra a month. No shit. Y'all, this is wild. This is wild. I'm like, Anna, your double standard is so wow. Wow. Embarrassing, honestly. So let's say they have 50 people purchase and they're losing out on $3 every single time. So how much? They're literally losing out on $150. So you think them losing out on $150 in 1 month is like more ridiculous than them? Do you think they're more ridiculous being upset about that than excited about gaining $150 a year? Make it make sense, Anna.
They can come to you and have a discussion, and you can have a better opportunity to have those conversations with your customers now. So I think that's
I mean,
really
and I guess in a way
valid.
too, it gives us an opportunity to upsell. I don't know if I love that word, but it, you know, like upsell for maybe something else if they do contact us, because even if it's someone a part of a party and say Melissa lives in Texas and it needs to get sent to her, I can still do direct shipping on my side, correct? So it's really okay.
Yep.
But on the other hand too, I've seen in a group, I'm not going to mention it, but a Facebook group, that it looks like some prices are decreasing. So it looks
Yes, because it's opening the opportunity for things like a pick 6 on oils where we wouldn't have had that
okay.
before. So now you can get 10
Okay.
pack of 6.
And-
Melissa J, get comfortable with that word if you want to be in sales. Upsell.
And
oil.
in
Okay.
like the Scentsy system, everybody always wanted a warmer that was higher priced than the ones in the graph. So then they didn't get the deal. So now it doesn't matter how much the warmer cost. They still get, if they buy the warmer with 6 bars, it's 10% off.
Yep.
So
And
it was like they're buying a warmer, it would be a good idea to be like, hey, let's grab 6 bars of wax. You can get
God, I don't give a fuck about your wax number. I don't give a hell about I don't give a shit about the warmer or the wax. Let's keep talking about if they're done talking, do y'all know if they're done talking about shit so that I can move over to the CEO live? If they're not, we'll keep listening, but
it on sale for 10% off. Maybe not on sale, but you can get it for 10% off.
Yes.
Okay, I get it.
Yes.
More simple. It's so much more simple.
It is much more simple because think about it. You had the $55 warmer and 3 bars, and that was this much. And you had the
Right,
$50 warmer and 3 bars, and it was this much. And you're trying to remember, okay, this one was a $6 discount. This one was a $4 discount. This one was it's so much easier to just say warmer, 6 bars, 10% off.
okay, warmer 6 bars, 10% off. Wendy, not only do the consultants have to increase sales, but if a consumer does have a party, they now have to hit 250 PRV instead of 200 PRV in order for the party to qualify for any free or half-priced items. It just gets worse for them. Every single thing that is exposed gets worse and worse. Hijab Cheese said they say upsell even in basic retail shops. Well, right? You have to get comfortable with those words because if not, then why are you in sales? Look at that lady next to JJ. She ain't having any of this. Katrina, it's gonna be all right, pal.
Now, when you are entering it into your workstation, and we will have information on this when it comes pertinent to the time, when you're entering it on the workstation, there will be a specific code to enter to that is contradictory to what I heard. That code Dan told us on the SSD call that you have to put the buy 5 get 1 free code in to get it. So
for the wax, yes, but not for
yes, for the
Scentsy
wax
system. Oh, okay.
Sorry,
No,
I should have been clear. I should have been clear. On the workstation, if you just start adding bars, it will not auto bundle them to the buy 5 get 1 free. You will have to put in the buy 5 get 1 free. And I would imagine it's probably.
You know, I just realized I bought everything for taco soup except the broth. Oh my God. That's how boring Melissa is right now. I'm thinking about my taco soup because I'm hungry. I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't get broth.
Probably going to be the same as it is right now. The
It's almost
six,
over
to me, it's still 6 PK, but 6. But just know on your workstation, you can't just individually add bars and expect that the buy 5, get 1 free will happen. Okay. Great questions. Is there any others?
God, I hope not.
I did want to say something else about what Dawn said something and it joggled my brain a
Patty.
little bit. And it was
Patty, stop talking.
because of the things in the chat. I think it was from Brandy's comment. But one of the things that they talked about while we were at leadership was Scentsy is still in the black. So they're not in trouble. They haven't got to that point yet. They're smart enough to be proactive enough to look at the signs to make the adjustments needed so they stay in the black and not in the red. And the only debt they have, they said, is chosen debt because it was something they had to buy and they put some, but if they wanted to pay it off tomorrow, they could. So that right there is rare. And because Heidi and Orville are the sole owners of the company and they don't have investors that just see the first sign of whatever and run, that makes it stronger. So I don't know, there was just something that was said and it just kind of filled my brain. And so I just wanted to put that out that we're not in trouble. We are simply making adjustments so that we don't get into trouble.
Yep.
Zippered Bell, member for 15 months, chosen debt, shake my damn head. I'm like, isn't like all debt chosen essentially? Am I being dumb? Am I being dumb? W Fab was at least B-rate movie fun. You remember whenever they were making like a YouTube, what is it? They're making like a YouTube reality show. Do y'all remember watching that? They only made like 2 episodes. That was wild. Avery Joe, member for 37 months. Avery, thank you so much. That blows my mind, honestly, just thinking about it. 37 months. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Amen. Babe, you're all in trouble. Mia, yeah. Charlene said, Heidi and Orville are horrible people. Aaron reacted to them the other night. Well, we're about to take a look-see, shall we? I'm so done with this video. Okay, so I'm gonna have to share my screen because my video didn't download in time. And you know what? Fine. Export. Let me try to export it again. Come on. It shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take that long, but it is taking that long. So I'm just going to share my screen. Share screen. Yeah. I'm going to go back here. Let's see. Oh. All right. And then let's give it a big ol'. Well, oh, I also put it at 1.25 because nobody's got time for anything other than that. Let me fix this really quick. Nor, I don't want a second person. I don't, but I do want to add a camera slot. Hi! Ayo! And then I also want to fix. Let me see. Exit. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this to where it looks the best that it can. And I think that, honestly, here we go. Here we go. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. The Zoom meeting. Wait, hold on. Those Zoom team meetings are the worst. Rescue Ninja, member for 5 months. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see JulieJo versus Orville and Heidi. This time I am counting how many times she fake cries. Oh, she fake cries? I love a fake crier. Okay, are y'all ready? I've heard a lot about this. I have not seen it. Oh, yes, these two are awful, so buckle up. That was my seatbelt. Okay, let's. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's watch.
Hello, Scentsy family. How is everyone?
It's on 1.25, 1.5.
Look how much bigger my face looks than yours.
We're so happy to be with you on the end of the month.
It's been 3 years since we've done this, and the first 12 minutes we spent trying to get on
my computer, and it didn't work.
And yeah, so then we had to switch to the cell phone. So hello.
But if any of you go back on our page to the beginning of end of the month lives in the past, you will see that we had this problem before. We just forgot about it.
we're technically challenged, definitely.
Well, we are 55, so
So we shouldn't even know how to do all
we're,
this.
we're ahead of the curve being able to get on a live. Oh, that's kind of an ageist joke. I probably shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't.
Even if
Stop
it's-
now.
yeah.
That's you're making fun of me.
No, I'm making fun of
So
myself.
welcome. We're excited to be back. You're gonna notice some changes in maybe the way we do this call compared to Dan, and that's not a comparison. He has his way and we have our way. So
there
it might
are-
be a little different.
Yeah, so some of you may be looking for things that we won't be able to deliver. And some of you may find some things that you weren't expecting that you're going to really like. But we just want to spend some time with you, share about what has happened in January, the good things that have happened in January, share some context about Scentsy. Many of you might be really meeting us for the first
That's what I
time.
was just thinking, is that there are probably a lot of you on this call that don't really know Heidi and Orville, Orville and Heidi. So we hope that through a little bit through this call that you get to know us and our hearts.
And here's kind of an interesting thing about life that I've learned is it's really hard to please everybody, and trying is just a waste of time. So
I'm really fucking upset about that broth. I'm not gonna lie. I just had to pause to let it out, but I'm trying to stop thinking about it.
be yourself, but be the best version of yourself and improve every day. And you'll have enough people that love you. And those that don't, they have lots of people to love and they can go find them if they have the capacity to love. Sometimes people just don't have the capacity to love.
What
and
the
all
hell
they
are
can
you
do is
talking
hate.
about?
So with them, you just bless and release.
Bless and release. I love
Need a
that.
blanket.
After doing your best, what more can you do?
Which
I need a blanket.
I might just share a story with you right here, right now, and I'm gonna cry.
I'll cry, baby.
You know.
It's one of my favorite parts. She cannot hide her emotions.
It has to do with bless and release, and maybe I haven't done that fully. So, but
Is she crying?
before we left on our mission,
What? She's already crying?
and a little bit too. This tells a little bit why
Heidi.
I haven't been on the calls a lot,
Oh, yeah.
because before we left on our mission, somebody sent an anonymous letter to our home addressed to me, and very hateful,
Right.
very rude, and obviously anonymous because they weren't gutsy enough or brave enough to say it to my face. But how they didn't like my wahoos on the end of month live, and
You know, what's a wahoo? What the fuck is a wahoo? I look so pale. What's a wahoo? She's like, they didn't, she's crying because she got a message that said, I don't like your wahoos. That sounds weird. You will find out? Oh, just wait, she'll show you? Oh, fuck yeah.
I don't know. I
They,
don't
they
even
were
remember.
rude about your mother.
Yeah, they even said stuff about my mother who was dead,
Oh, that's
and how she was annoying, or I don't even remember what the words were. I just remember that receiving that letter, and so bless and release. I bless and release whoever wrote that letter, and I invite you to get off this call if you're on the call. And
You obviously haven't blessed and released. You're literally crying about it right here, right now. There's no blessing nor releasing.
if you don't like my wahoos, I invite you to leave.
Show me the wahoo.
So it is Scentsy. It is something that we started 20 years ago. We're very proud of it, and
Screaming.
I
wahoo.
can't even tell you how many lives have been blessed through
Need a
Scentsy.
sweater.
And we receive letters.
And I think that's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
And it's what keeps the home office going. And we've got some really good things happening.
Yes. So let's talk about January.
So
Is it bad that I don't give a fuck about a millionaire who made money off of an MLM crying? Like, I don't give a fuck about you rich folk and that you're rich off of like MLM stuff and you're crying. I don't care. I don't care. Those tears. If you put enough on the floor, I'll mop up, clean the floor.
first, one of the things that is really difficult, particularly in a momentum business, Scentsy's a momentum business. Direct selling in general is a momentum business, and belief about the potential opportunities that you will have or the future opportunities that you'll have dictate a lot of what your feelings about your business are, about the business in general, about the sales channel in general. And during difficult times, it's easy to say, there's a problem with the channel, there's a problem with my company, there's a problem with this course that I'm pursuing. And, you know, while we admit that direct selling isn't for everybody, there is a very specific place that direct selling occupies in entrepreneurship, in the business opportunity realm. And it is different, I think, than what a lot of people from the outside might think it to be, or people who get into a direct selling company and then get disillusioned might think it to be. One of the fundamental parts of a direct selling company is the community that is created.
Someone send me a timestamp of Julie Anderson's Wahoo and we'll compare.
It's one of the main reasons people will join and stay, is because yes, they're looking for extra income. Yes, they love the products and they want to share them with their friends. But if they don't find a community that they love and feel loved in, then they don't stay. And so that community is critically important, and momentum from a sales perspective will help that community. And when momentum is against you.
Orville's so full of shit. Orville Redenbacher, that's not his last name. I just couldn't help it. Can someone send me a timestamp for doing it so that we can compare? I have a feeling I know who's going to win. But like, you're talking about the community being supportive and successful of that, except you just completely fucked them over by changing the comp plan. You fully supported that, by the way, whether you did it or not. The community, you just made a choice to fuck them all over, and that's like the best part of this MLM as a community. You don't care about them. You go for some popcorn. I'm so cold. I might grab a sweater too, but I feel like if I'm gonna leave, she's gonna start crying again.
You, or when the winds are blowing against you, then it's really hard for that community to hold together because people start to point fingers and attack one another.
Okay, so let's go move on with the good news. You ready?
January is there's a lot of
it's showing
seeds of momentum,
yes,
right? There's some changes that are happening.
Okay, at leadership too. Maybe we're going to talk about it or record a video, the message that we gave everyone at leadership, because it's actually something that we used on the mission with the missionaries, and the mission took off. The momentum built, and the mission is on fire right now. And
the missionaries are happy, and the work is productive. And yeah, so it's based really on principles that were introduced to us through the book, The Boys in the Boat. Now, if you've seen the movie,
you got to read the book.
Yeah,
the book is better.
The book is where the philosophy is laid out.
They actually don't, in the movie, they actually don't even really expound on what we talked about. They say the word swing one time.
And swing is this thing that happens in rowing when the boat feels like it is taking off, it's carrying itself, where work or the effort and the fatigue kind of gives way to exaltation because all rowers in the boat are in such perfect unison that the boat takes off. So we talked a little bit about that at leadership, about how we can keep our mind in the boat, focused on what we're doing, and being in a championship boat requires championship effort. But the rewards of being in a championship boat are phenomenal because you have that community that you need so much, and your life goes in directions that brings you and those around you more and more joy. And if you're not in sync with others, it's really hard to get ahead, right? You're always fighting against somebody at some time for some reason. So eliminating that negativity, finding your people, getting in rhythm is what creates momentum. And we'll expound on that, put out a video talking about what we talk about at leadership.
Oh, good.
We'll get that done this
Another
and
video?
just, I guess we invite you all to be a part of that boat that is going to row for gold. We invite you. So any who want to come along.
What?
So we've talked about Scentsy's history a little bit.
A what? What did she say? A boat that's going to row for gold? A what?
Getting in rhythm is what creates momentum. And we'll expound on that, put out a video talking about what we talk about at leadership. We'll get that done this month.
And just, I guess we invite you all to be a part of that boat that is going to row for gold.
Okay.
We invite you. So any who want to come along.
Okay.
So we've talked about Scensy's history a little bit, and Scentsy had a pretty, from the outside, like a crazy start. Like it seemed for people that weren't around those first few years that we launched and it was all sales and rainbows.
But it wasn't.
we grew very quickly.
We did.
Even though.
But it wasn't easy.
Yeah, we were tripping all over ourselves in doing so. There was one time I remember in 2005, we had just published our catalog, and we found out that all of the warmers that we had just published into the catalog wouldn't be available until January.
And not just like a few of them. We're saying every single warmer was not going to be available.
So consultants would go to a home party, they'd show the warmers, and they would say, they won't be available till January. Now this was in like October.
Yeah.
And what we ended up doing is we had a gift certificate. So consultants were essentially selling a gift certificate. But during that period of time, Scentsy grew like 4 or 5x in that catalog run.
Okay.
That means on average, every consultant added 5 people to our team, on average. That wasn't because the execution from the home office was spectacular.
No.
I mean, that was horrible execution.
I'm sure some of you here remember that year.
But that growth was because people believed that the future was going to be bright for them, that Scentsy had what it took to deliver exponential change in their life. And those that couldn't handle that disruption left, and those that could are the ones that a lot of new consultants say, well, they had it easy. because now they are superstar directors with large teams.
And that wasn't the only time. We had another year, I think, where we launched. Is that the one you're talking about, where we launched a new software and nothing worked?
2009.
Yeah. So we had another year. Yeah.
So we were growing really fast. And what was interesting is we'd do the math.
I don't give a fuck about 2009, 2000, whatever. I don't care. What I care about is you talking about the shit that's going on in Scentsy and how you're fucking over all of those distributors. That's what I care about. So I don't care about your little, oh, look, all of this happened in this. I don't care about this history lesson. This isn't school. I'm not here for it. Gaslighting at its best. I'm like, seriously? This is sped up 1.5 speed. Yes. DC, hello, welcome.
On the at the end of all the sales data, and on a big day, which was a few 100,000 in sales, at the end of the month, it would take us 24 hours, more than 24 hours, to get the data from our accounting software, from our point of sale software into the accounting software. And as we were looking at our growth, we realized that within 3 or 4 months, every day was going to be bigger than that. So it would take more than 24 hours to get 24 hours worth of data into our accounting software, and we knew that was going to break. So we had to launch a new software. We had to do it quick. And sometimes when you do it quick, you don't do it right. And boy, did we not do it right. So we launched the software, and sales went into like oblivion. They just were gone. We had no idea what people were ordering. We had money going into our account. We had no idea where it was coming from, where it was going.
Items got double shipped, triple shipped.
Consultants called, hey, I got this order for the third
crazy.
time. What do you want me to do with the product? At that time, we were growing so fast. Product was flowing in, and we weren't a big company at the time. 2009, let's see,
remember about that
about 165 million in sales, about a third of the size we are now. And I remember spending in that catalog season, I think $7 or $8 million in air freight shipments and double shipments and paying overtime. And
All right.
But during that period of time, we grew 400 or 500%.
Well, and wasn't that the year that we paid out like $7 million?
Yeah.
I mean, no profit
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So we spent all of our profit taking care of consultants. They'd call up and say, my order's not here. What was in it?
Yeah.
We just trusted it and we said,
Yeah. We also had another year where we had just hired on Mark Stastny.
yeah, it was his first day at work.
It was his first day at work, and we got a notice that all of a certain kind of warmer that we carried at the time.
Yeah, every warmer that we had sold in our first 2.5 years.
Yes, we're going to be recalled. Every single one.
So, hey, Mark, welcome to your job. Let's
Yeah.
figure out this crisis.
How do we work through this? Yeah.
And we work through it. Now, the reason we talk about these things is
Growing is hard. Yes.
A lot of
Growing
people
is hard.
think that a company is doing well when there aren't hiccups, when there aren't problems. The reality is, if you're not making a mistake here or there, you're not really trying hard enough. If you stay within your comfort zone to where you can execute at 100%, you're not finding your edge.
I would say at that point you have no vision because
Right.
you're not finding your edge. So
And
the outside of the edge.
improvement requires finding your edge.
Yeah.
It's in weightlifting. It's the same in any type of physical
Well, with
activity. It's the same
weightlifting,
in
they say like fatigue your muscles. So you have to go outside the box to fatigue yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Now, this becomes particularly challenging if you are in a position, or if you're in the midst of everything. So like if you're in the jungle or in the forest, we'll say the forest because few of us live in jungles. If you're in the middle of the forest and you're surrounded by trees, it's very difficult to see the whole forest. You love the saying, you can't see the forest for the trees.
but if you really think about it, you are only seeing a little bit of the forest.
That's right.
You're only
Yeah.
seeing a small portion where you're standing.
From the home office's perspective and from Heidi's and my perspective, because of our understanding of what all of your businesses are doing, who's succeeding, who's struggling, why those that are succeeding, why those that are struggling. We understand a lot about what's going on in your personal life, about the struggles you're dealing with. And a lot of people think that we might just be disconnected, but you could not be farther from the truth.
I actually think that's pretty spot on. Y'all too seem so disconnected. You have no idea what the fuck is going on. I just can tell. It's kind of a subjective thing, but like really, y'all to me, I don't know shit about nothing.
We understand these things, but we also see things with a much broader perspective. And what we like to say is, Scentsy is always playing business chess.
Oh, I love this.
We're seeing moves, 5 or 6 moves
I
out.
love that. Love it.
Why? Is it because we're smarter than everybody else? No. It's because at the home office, and particularly as owners and stewards of the brand, we see a broader view. And because we see that broader view, we can look at moves, 5 or 6 moves out, and come backwards to decide what needs to happen now.
Yes.
I think Stephen Covey talked about it's one of the 7 habits. Begin with the end in mind, and then you work backwards.
And if you think, I mean, every business needs to make adjustments or they're out of business.
If y'all are such good business people, then why are you having to make these adjustments like this? Why are you, if you're so good at business, this is what y'all are saying, that y'all are awesome. If y'all are so good at business, then why are you having to fuck over your consultants so badly? That doesn't make sense to me.
So sometimes we have to make quick decisions also, very quick.
Yeah. So in January, the rough stuff in January, and then the good stuff. So we had to make a couple of changes that a lot of people are frustrated about.
They are
and then they kind of digest it, they understand it. And I think for the most part, everybody gets everything except maybe one change that we made, and they don't really understand that. So we'll probably clear that up a little bit. But just to let you know, we changed the activity requirement from 200 PRV to 250 PRV.
Why?
And that's going to be a little bit of a stretch. Might be a big stretch for some people. But if we don't stretch, we don't grow.
Very true.
And if you don't grow individually, then Scentsy doesn't grow as a whole. And if Scentsy doesn't grow as a whole, then we lose momentum. As we lose momentum, we lose community. As we lose.
If you don't like what we did, then you suck. Like, you're not going to grow. If you can't do what we did, like if you can't do what we changed, you're not going to grow. You know what? If you don't like our changes, then that's you. That's a you issue. He's really saying, we're doing this for you. We're making it harder for you to make money so that you can grow. That is actually so wild. Orville, you kind of are the worst.
Community, the point of being in business and joining a business goes away. So we have to stretch you enough that you will find your edge and you will grow for you to actually enjoy your experience with Scentsy.
So every year inflation happens.
Okay.
And every year we don't make changes at Scentsy. We haven't made changes at Scentsy. And so
Shut up.
I guess it's kind of we're catching up.
Yeah, there's always a catch up here. I mean, think about it this way. In 100 years from now, a light bulb is going to cost $200.
You're proud of what you're doing. In 100 years from now, a light bulb's going to cost $200. Orville, what the fuck are you saying? What's happening?
I hope not, but
Right?
I hope not.
It'll adjust
Yes,
to where a light bulb is $200. And if your requirement to be active at Scentsy was only to sell one light bulb, it wouldn't make sense. We wouldn't have a business, right? So there always has to be these adjustments. It started at 150 in 2004, around 2014, as we were looking to renew again.
Okay. But, okay. If you're saying that, but when we're talking about things going up in price, sorry, give me a second. When we're talking about things going up in price, you also should raise the pay. You're being weird. I'm sorry.
We're going through our first dip. Renewal came with a stretching of the expectation. And because we stretched expectations, one of the contributing factors to our renewal in 2014, 15, that went on and that prepared us to take advantage of the opportunities that came through COVID. After COVID, we're in another dip. And we looked at it and said, it is time to make this adjustment again. It's been about a decade. So I hope you can understand that.
Okay, the next one.
A little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So we changed the policy that it was always, when you start, you get 20% commission. And when you reach $1,000 cumulatively in sales, then your commission would go to 25%. And we looked at the challenges that has caused for the organization as a whole. The attitudes between sponsors and new consultants, team leaders and the members of their team, how people are motivated, how people are stretching. And there were a few things that we could do. We looked at different options.
Well, and one of them, which we've done in the past when we've needed to make a change or a course correction, we have raised prices. And that was on the board. That was one of the ways that we could have made that course correction, is by raising prices.
Another thing we could have done is gone back to a cancellation policy that is, every 4 months you have to be active. And this is one of those things where it's really hard to understand this move. I think a lot of you are struggling with why we had to make this move. We didn't have to make it, why we chose to make this move. I think in 4 or 5 moves in a few months ago, a few business chess moves away, you'll come back and say, oh, I get it. Now, if we explain to you all 5 of those moves, there are opponents that will then make an adjustment. And then that winning strategy no longer is a winning strategy because you're disclosing your hand, you're disclosing your moves. So we're not going to explain to you all of the iterations of the future that we think are going to happen, but we've been doing this for a while. We've been playing business chess for a while, and we've got a pretty good record. If you can't trust our ability to look into the future and see what's coming and make adjustments ahead of time, and those adjustments being made not to benefit us two, but to benefit consultants. And
I'm not going to lie, I'm not feeling super well. So I think I'm going to stop here and then do another live later. Is that cool with y'all? I just want to give them their, I just want to be able to be present and really do a good job. And I don't feel that way right now. So I'm not feeling very good. So I think I'm going to hop off and then I will do this later on next week. And I'm feeling better. Sorry, y'all. Kind of sucks. But thanks for all of y'all for being here. I'm going to go rest. I don't feel good. So I'll talk to you later. Watch from the start if you didn't. 90 minutes is a lot of stream. Thanks, Leshy. I could definitely go longer if I was feeling better. I'm just not feeling very good right now. So I'll talk to y'all later. sorry, everybody. I will definitely, do this next week. Bye.